Media Attention. My name is Andrea. I'm your host for today, and I hope you're excited and ready as authors to start grabbing some media attention for your book and for your business. I want to welcome you today and congratulate you for being here and for taking the time to work on your book, which is very, very important. And we always have a lot of information, a lot of products that we have access to, and we never really get the chance of consuming them. So out of the hundreds of people that are signed up in your in this do-it-yourself program, there's just a handful of you that are here with me today. So I do congratulate you for taking your time and working on your book. This is first. Now, before we get started, let's see if you can find the chat area. Let me know if you can hear me good, if you can see me good, and if you can see my screen. And as we're going through this, I may be turning off my video and just sharing my screen. This is just for you to have a better view of what we're doing here. So just let me know if it's all good. Let's see. I'm checking the chat area here. I want to say hello to Ava, to Braca, to Cassie, to Janice. Thank you all for showing up. And let's see. Yeah, that's good. Cassie says she can hear me. Perfect, says Jen. Great. Well, I'm very happy to see you all here. And we met I saw you in our other webinars as well. So I'm excited to be moving this forward. Because this is a special webinar, and it has to do with what happens besides working on the book. And the reason why this is so important is because remember, what's the primary objective of your book? The primary objective should always be getting you more customers for your business or helping you start a new business. Whatever this book is aimed to do for you, media is always needed. So media attention, whether we mean social media or we mean the actual written and spoke media, then you need this so that who you are and what you do and the word about your book goes further. So before in order to get started with this, let's do a short exercise. Let me just check on your primary objective for your book. If you can write it down in the chat area, just let me know, what do you want your book to do for you? It would be interesting for everybody to see that, and for the ones looking at this on a recording, it would be amazing as well to identify with you and your particular cases. So Cassie says, perfect. The primary objective for writing the book is to get more speaking engagements. That is awesome, Cassie. And definitely for you, grabbing media attention the right way is very, very important. And because a lot of you want to be speakers, let me just start with that. So what happens with your book and how do you end up using it really effectively to help you land speaking engagements? Now, the way that you do that, Cassie, so let's talk about your example a little bit. It's number one, we have a great, let's say you've identified your title and you already have a book cover. Now, the moment you have your book cover, that's when you start talking about yourself as the author of so-and-so book. So for the sake of this example, if you can share with me the title of your book, that would be awesome. Even if it's a working title, that still works. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use the information on the website to get this moving for you. And visibility and speaking engagements, radio and TV interviews. That's great. This is what we were talking today about. So Cassie, your book will be Secrets to Blooming Your Business. Awesome title. I hope there's a subtitle coming to that as well. So Cassie, the moment you have your book cover done, If you follow the instructions on the website, let me just show you something. So see, I went to the step-by-step process, right? And as my page is going to load, you will see, most probably you already saw it, in the step-by-step process. There are, it is being divided on what's the most important aspect, right? So we have a title, we have a book cover, and then we have marketing materials. In each step, while you're waiting for the next thing to happen, there are some small actionable steps that help you establish a following in social media, which is an absolute must in your journey, in your author journey, and this will be helping you get more media exposure. So see, for instance, I clicked on the book cover. So after you get instructions on how do you find it, how do you do your book cover, you get photo shoot samples and so on and so forward. See, it says here, while you're waiting for your book cover to be done, create your Facebook page, update your LinkedIn profile, start a YouTube channel. Every step in the step-by-step process has these small actionable steps that help that help you establish a following in social media even before your book is done. So you don't have to wait for the whole book to be created in order for you to start talking about it. So step number one, and please keep this in mind, whatever your primary objective is, whether it's getting visibility, it's getting speaking engagements, it's getting on radio, on TV, it's getting more customers, in educating your customers. So whatever the primary objective is, you need to make sure that your information will go to them. And a good way for you to make sure that your information will go to them is to start up your community and build on your following in social media. So this is crucial. It's very, very important. Start with the small steps. The more things you do on your book, the more you post in social media. So for instance, once you have your book cover done, go ahead and post that and say, hey everybody, I'm very happy to announce my book is now, we have a book cover and I'm continuously working on the content and so on and so forth. Then the next day you just put a quote or something that you've been working on, or you put a selfie with you working on your book, or you start to share content. Content is crucial. The more you give out, the better. And if you do these small steps, by the time your book is done, well, you already have a lot of people interested in your book, which is what you're looking for. Most probably you heard in our boot camp this idea that the money is in your database, right? The money is nowhere else. It's not on Facebook. It's not in social media. The money is in the database. Well, when you post something in Facebook or on Instagram or on Pinterest, whatever your platform of choice is, always say, well, if you want to be the first one to hear when my book is coming up, or if you want a free copy of my book, or if you want to get the a free chapter of my book when that's done, go ahead and sign up to my database. This is huge. And then you just start from there. Now, there are two reasons why this is important. Number one, of course, you're building your database. And number two, the more you talk about your book, the easier it's going to be for people in the media to get to know you. Even when you're pitching yourself, they will want to check you out. They will want to see what you're doing. How is your Facebook page doing? What are you posting? What's the content that you're sharing? So this helps create a very good context for you to get media attention as well. And as Jerry likes to say, media begets media begets media. So the more you do it, the more media gets interested in you. And after the first interview, then the second interview will happen, and the third interview will happen. And this is just like it's like the domino effect. The only thing is, in order for you to get at that point where you move something and then the ball just gets bigger and bigger, there's a bit of effort that you need to put in. These small things that you do every day, sharing content, of building your following in social media, this is a very, very important step in you moving forward. So now that we talked about that, this is a general context. You as authors, you need to have that. Even having a website for your book is not as important as this step, as is not as important right now as having us talking about your book everywhere in social media. It is more important that you have an active social media presence than that you have a good, outstanding author website going on. So if you want to choose channeling your energy, channel it in the direction of building your community and sharing content. I hope this makes sense to you. Now, moving forward, Cassie, in your example, that you want to get more speaking engagement. Now, this part is being done. Secondly is, so the context around you as a speaker and as an author, it is being created and you're starting to share more and more content. Now, you want to be strategic about your book from the moment that you are doing the book. And I'll explain right now what I mean. It's an example that I actually gave in one of my previous webinars. So for the ones looking at this on a recording, you may have heard this before. When you're in the process of writing the book, one of the things that you can do is do a little bit of research and choose the bloggers, the podcasters, the TV show producers, radio show editors, radio show producers, or hosts. Make a list of all of them that are relevant for your target audience. And mind you that if you want to get speaking engagements, your target audience is one, the audience of your book, but it's also composed by conference organizers, chambers of commerce, organizations of, in your case, if you're doing blooming your business, yes, you can have a business and life you love, then you may be looking at other organizations as well that are servicing small, medium-sized businesses or solopreneurs or entrepreneurs at the beginning of their world, magazines that write for these people, magazines that write for people who want to change careers and so on and so forth. So always keep in mind that you actually have two target audiences. So it's the ones who read the book and get awesome information out of it, but it's also the ones who organize events for these people. So if you make a list of all of these influencers, even if we're talking about somebody who has a great Instagram presence, or somebody, in your case, maybe somebody who has a really, really good LinkedIn presence, they may be worth talking to. And an easy way for you to get in touch with them and an easy way for you to build up a relationship with them is to reach out and say, hey, my name is Cassie. I'm working on on my next book. It's called Secrets to Booming Your Business. Yes, you can have a business and life you love. Here's my media kit, and you attach your media kit to that email. And I'm doing research for my book right now. I'd love to have your input. I follow you. I love your content, and I think my audience would love your content as well. So let me know if you have 20 minutes for a conversation. It's all that takes. So you don't need to write a longer email than that. But imagine what it would be like for you to interview them. So it's a little bit counterintuitive, right? Because the end goal that we have is that they would be featuring you on their blog or on their podcast and everything else. But here, relationship building is very, very important. And this is a good way for you to make that happen. So it's you're breaking the ice. You're inviting them to do an interview with you. It gives you the opportunity to get to know them. It gives them the opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. And what do you think they will do when you post a message in social media saying, hey, I'm so excited, I've interviewed so and so from this magazine, stay tuned, my book is coming up, and I'm excited to share with you some pieces of the interview, and so on and so forth. They will share it with their audience. They will be more likely to feature you in their community, in their show, once they're part of your book. And I believe this makes total sense. Now you let me know if this is something that resonates with you and with everybody online, actually. So networking, or networking purposefully, and finding these people and interviewing them, is a very easy and simple and friction-free way of you getting in front of all of these influencers. So this is really, really easy to do, and the interview process can be used in order for you to get in contact with editors and bloggers and podcasters. But it's also good if you want to get, for instance, if you're doing speaking engagements, right? Interview the conference organizers, interview the presidents of the Chamber of Commerce, interview anybody whom you want to work with. And that's a very easy way to just, you're there, you're in their area now, you're in their universe, they know you. So when they're putting together the next event, it's going to be really easy for them to just, give you a call and say, hey, Cassie, we're doing this event, would you like to speak at this event? Now, the third aspect, and this is something that you will find on the website, is how else do you get media attention? So we spoke about creating a context. We spoke about networking and you getting in front of them. There are other ways in which you can get media attention, and there are some great resources on the website that I want you to be aware of and to use. So HARO stands for Help a Reporter Out. And Source Bottle, these websites are meant to do the same thing, which is connecting reporters with content creators. So you are the content creator or the source, and you get connected through these websites with different reporters. So the way that you are, an easy way to it is just go to these websites. Again, you have links to them on the Do-It-Yourself Publishing Toolkit website. Go there, create an account, and then just respond to the queries. The way it happens is you get an email, and that email contains up to 10 opportunities or up to 10 areas where reporters are looking for experts in. And you just respond to that. So it's easy. Always send in your media kit, and then just naturally respond to their query and tell them how would you service their audience. Read really carefully what they're looking for. We have a lot of authors having great success in just using these two websites. Now, there are some newsjacking is another good way of you getting media attention. And I won't go into the details of newsjacking just because we have here a report that is available for you. See on this on the website, it says the secret to newsjacking. So if you click on the button here, you'll end up on this page. This is a 12-page guide on how do you use newsjacking to grab more media attention. From how do you identify the leading topics, to how do you write the article, to how do you teach it to media. So be sure to go on the website and check this out. And of course, as any author working on their book, you'll have to create press releases. So you have another guide in here for how to create an amazing press release that any media would want to publish. So let me know, guys, if you're good so far, and what are your questions, if you have any, regarding grabbing media attention. Of course, we can go into a lot of details, but I know most of you are at the beginning of writing your books, and I want to keep this simple and actionable for you. This is why the website has been created in a step-by-step way. I wanted to do this webinar on grabbing media attention because there are a lot of parts that you can do right away, even from the title stage, even from the book cover stage. So I wanted you to know, and I wanted you to have this in your awareness, that media attention is important, and you don't have to wait for your book to be printed in order for you to start doing the small steps into making this happen. So let me know if you're good so far. All of these information are available on the website. I showed you the media attention tab. I spoke a lot about your media kit. You have a template of a media kit that you can use under this step called marketing materials. So this is where you can actually download a Word document that you can edit and export it as a PDF, and it's going to end up look like a media kit that you can use. And you also have some samples in here to help you make it easier, right? So this is where, under marketing materials, this is where you're getting your media kit done. So guys, let me know if you're good. I see more people have joined us, which is awesome. Welcome everybody. I don't know where exactly you landed in the webinar, but I hope the information that I'm sharing with you makes sense. Tell me, what is the first step that you want to take action on based on what I just covered right now? And in visualizing you taking this step, do you foresee any roadblocks, anything that would be stopping you? Let me know so that we can clear those out. So we have 5 people with us today, and it would be awesome if I can get your next actionable step in grabbing media attention, so that this helps you with your primary objective. Let's go. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write it down in the chat area. And then if there are no more questions, we will be wrapping up this session today. Okay, we're waiting. Let me know what's the next step on your list for grabbing media attention. Or if you have questions about it, if you don't know what's your next step, that's also good. Just write it down. Cassie's asking, where do we find all the previous webinar videos? Cassie, they are available online under coaching. No, sorry, under the Get Started tab. Let me show you where they are. It's right here. See this tab called Get Started? If you click on that, you're going to see all the webinars in the series. And of course, remember, you have unlimited email coaching with this program. So whenever you have a question, you can simply go to the FAQ section. Maybe the question has been answered there. If not, you can email coach@blackheartbooks.com and you'll have those answered. Now, again, the ups and downs of a do-it-yourself program. The good news is it's all dependent on you taking action, and the bad news is it's all dependent on you taking action. So this is your chance to have your questions answered, if any. Let me know if we can help. We are here to service you as much as possible. I don't see any questions coming up, which is great. This means it's all been cleared up. Oh wait, we do have a question from Nicole. Nicole is asking, how do we know which companies to approach? So Nicole, today's webinar was about grabbing media attention, right? So, and we spoke about at the beginning of this, we spoke about How do we create a context in social media? So we want to create some buzz around the book, and we want people talking and sharing our content, and so on and so forth. And secondly, we spoke about making a list of editors and bloggers and podcasters and other influencers that are followed by your own audience, right? So this means that and the way that you get in contact with them is you ask them if they would want to do an interview with you as you're doing the research for your book. So this is how you do it. If you're asking about the companies to approach in order for you to create a business partnership with them, in other words, sell an ad in your book, then the way you do that is by analyzing your target audience very well. You need to know, you need to have a very good avatar. For home, do they work in an office? Do they travel? Where do they eat? So all of these aspects that are so important that about your audience. Once you know this, then think, what is it that they buy? And start with, what do you teach them, and would they buy something that is that would help them with what you teach them? And it can go as broad as, do they travel? And if they travel, a travel agency would be a good fit for you. So let me give you an example. This is not about media, but I know it would be helping everybody on the call today. The best way to identify business partners is to know your audience. I'll give you an example. I'm a sales coach. My book is called Speed Selling. And my audience was represented at the time when I did the book, was represented by small business owners, both men and female. They were working in a city area, and they had an average plus income level, and they wanted to do more with their business. It would also be combined by solopreneurs and startup businesses. So this was my audience, right? And I would teach them how to sell. They would also need, when they're starting their own business, or when they're or when they want to have success with their business, they also want a good accountant. So an accountant makes total sense as a partner in my book. So the accountants area, like companies that do financial advice and do accounting for companies, for other companies, for my audience, they would be a logical fit for me to go and approach them. The same would be chambers of commerce. Chambers of commerce relates to my audience. They offer other services to my audience. So having a chamber of commerce featured in my book and recommending them helps my audience. And it makes total sense for my audience to read a book where at the end, a chamber of commerce or an accounting company is being recommended. Now, they also buy real estate. So a real estate agent works really good in my book as well. Especially startup businesses and solopreneurs, they're very much into personal development. This means that a personal development coach or an emotional freedom technique coach, or I don't know, an law of attraction coach, you name it, a psychologist, a spa, they can all service my target audience with a complementary service to my own. which is teaching them how to sell. And then it can go a little bit broader as well. Like in my case, my audience was primarily women, so I appealed more to women than to men. So this means I have a whole new range of potential partnerships that I can do, because guess what? Women buy shoes and buy bags and they buy healthy food. So all of these companies can be in my book, and I can create a partnership with them. They can buy an ad in the book. All of these women, well, they want to go to the gym, they want to go to the spa. So these are other companies to which I can go to, and I can suggest that they start a partnership with me where I recommend them in front of my target audience. Now, let me know if this makes sense to all of you. This is really, really simple. So knowing the companies to go for, if you want to be, if you want to sell ads, again, you want to be strategic about it, but it just goes back to knowing your target audience and what they buy. And from there, make a logical business case to all of these people and show them how you are bringing them new clients and exposure. So it doesn't get simpler than that. Now, let me know if I answered your question, Nicole, and we went a little bit astray from our media conversation, but I feel this is a question on everybody's mind. So that's it. Let me see. Let me hear your feedback now. Yes, it makes total sense. Nicole says that's great. And we have here the next step for us is to get our book cover completed. Perfect. And once you have your book cover completed, you can start posting and talking about it, talking about your book in social media. So I do encourage you to do that. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being with me today. It's been a pleasure, as always, to serve you here and to answer your questions. If you need any additional help, remember there's an entire team of publishing consultants looking forward answering your questions if you send them at coach@blackheartbooks.com. Take this process step by step. This is the last video in the series. You will see all of them in the Get Started tab over here. The step-by-step process is over here. And if you don't skip any steps, you will be doing your book. It's going to be profitable. It's going to be done in the shortest time possible, of course, dependent on you taking action. In this tab over here, which is called coaching, you have access to a lot of webinars that I've been hosting together with other experts in the company for different other, for our authors across the board. So be sure to be checking these. The FAQ section is there for you if you have any questions. Have an amazing day today, and I'm looking forward hearing from you as you're getting your books done. Andrea here. I'm a director of product creation here at Black Heart Solutions, and I wish you an amazing day today. Bye-bye.